Welcome to Hector's Fitness Personal Training Program. My name's Matt, and this is Emily. And today, we're going to take you through an easy-to-remember lower body stretch routine. So making sure that you're already warmed up, we're going to go ahead and come into a downward facing dog. And note that whenever doing your stretches, you want to make sure that you are warmed up. So a great time to do them would be at the end of your workout. So, in our downward facing dog, we're pressing our hips toward the sky, our chest to the back of the room, and we're allowing the heels to simply melt to the floor. Now, if you're in your downward facing dog right now, you should notice you feel a little stretch in the back of the hamstrings and in the calves a little bit. You can also pedal out the feet, shifting weight from heel to heel, going slowly from side to side. We'll go ahead and center ourselves back up. If you want to go ahead and continue with that a little bit, feel free to do so. So, as you inhale, we're going to reach the right leg toward the sky. And then as you exhale, we're going to step the right foot forward, big toes in line with fingertips. Now, Emily's quite a bit flexible, so she was able to get that foot all the way forward with no problem. Most people, when they go to get into that, will have to inch the foot forward. So be mindful of what's right for you and go ahead and take your time to inch your way up into that position. And we're just going to make little micro movements as we shift forward and back. It's real light here. Just kind of settling into what's right for you in this nice runner's lunge. Now, in our stretches, we're going to try to hold each stretch for about 20 to 30 seconds. Okay? If any of you would like to go a little bit longer, that's okay. But the big thing is make sure you extend it out long enough to receive a decent stretch. We're going to go ahead and drop the back knee down to the floor, bring the right hand inside the right knee. And if some of you can get down to your elbows, that's great. Some of you will not be able to make it down there. Again, as you sit in this position, just simply rest as you allow your body to melt, or the hips to melt forward. Trying to be on the tops of the knee or the quad here. Now, with each stretch, you just, again, want to hold for about 20 to 30 seconds and try to allow your breath to assist you throughout each stretch. So if you notice as you inhale, you might slightly tighten up. With each exhale, you'll simply melt and relax a little bit deeper into the stretch. Just be mindful of what's right for you. And we're going to go ahead and slowly walk the hands back in close to us. We'll take the right forearm, place the right forearm on the right quad. We're going to take the left arm and reach overhead as well the hips melt forward, reaching left arm over to the right wall. Now you're going to feel a bit of a stretch in the front of the left hip. Be mindful of that and challenge yourself, but don't push too far. You don't want to injure yourself either. Taking note that your body actually has a stretch reflex that acts like a two-way spring. So if you actually go too far into your stretch, sometimes that stretch reflex will engage and cause the muscle to contract. And you don't want to contract when you're at the furthest point of your stretch, because that could actually injure yourself. So just be mindful of what's right for you. Relax as you breathe deeply into it. Don't contract anything. And then let's go ahead and slowly bring the left hand down to the floor. We're going to reach around with the right hand, see if we can't grab the left foot. Now, some of you will not be able to do this in the beginning, and that's okay. The most important thing is to be mindful of what's right for your body. As you just allow the hips just to melt forward for a nice little quad stretch. Also note, you don't want to feel the discomfort on your kneecap. So you're trying to let the hips melt forward, so the weight of the body is actually on the tops of the quad almost. And again, you're just relaxing as you breathe into each stretch. And then whenever you're finished with this, we'll go ahead and gently release the left foot, place the right hand outside the right foot, and we'll step the right foot back to meet the left and press back to our downward facing dog. We'll take a few moments to pedal out the feet as we shift side to side, feeling a nice stretch down the back sides of each leg and in the calf. Now also taking note that many of the muscles we're stretching today, being the glutes, the hamstrings, and the calves, are common. When they're tight, it's common to get back discomfort from having tight glutes, hamstrings, and calves. So everything we address today will really probably make you feel a little better in your back. So as you inhale, we're going to reach the left leg toward the sky, and then as you exhale, we'll step the left foot forward, big toes in alignment with fingertips. Again, taking those little micro movements and you settle into what's right for you. And then we'll go ahead and drop the right knee down to the floor. We'll bring the left hand inside the left foot. And some people simply stay here, others may tend to be able to work all the way down to the elbows. And again, as you get here, just allow the hips to simply melt forward, trying to put the weights on the top part of the quad here, or the lower part of the quad. Not feeling any discomfort in your kneecap. Noticing we're using a nice thick mat here. Hopefully you're at home, you have a mat, or you're at least on a carpet, or if you're at the gym, you're on one of those stretch mats as well. Just allowing the hips to melt forward. Try to keep the knee from shooting out too far to the side. Holding for about 20 to 30 seconds. And then we'll slowly walk the hands back in close. Placing the left hand on the left leg. We're going to reach the right arm over top toward the left wall. Feeling a nice stretch down the right side of the body. Again, if you feel too deep of a stretch into your hip flexors, make sure you're mindful of that, not to strain anything. Just allowing your breath to assist you. Nice work. And whenever you've held 20 to 30 seconds or so, we'll take the right hand down to the floor, reach the left hand around to try to grab the right ankle or the foot, letting the hips just melt forward, trying to place the weight of the body on top or the lower part of the quad. Try not to feel any discomfort in the kneecap. And again, some of you won't even be able to reach your foot in the beginning, that's okay. Or if you want to, you can always grab a rope, wrapping a rope around the foot and holding onto the rope with your hand, or a towel for that matter. Just allowing your breath to assist you as you gently melt forward with each exhale. Nice work. Just relaxing with each breath. And then we'll go ahead and gently release the foot. Placing both hands outside the front leg, we'll go ahead and step the left leg back to meet the right and press back to our downward facing dog. Again, we're trying to press our hips to the sky, chest to the back of the room, as we allow the heels simply to melt to the floor. Again, Emily's quite flexible, so her heels are basically on the floor. For a lot of you, your heels will actually probably be up right here. And then we're actually going to come out of our downward facing dog onto our knees in a tabletop position. We're going to check in. Ideally, we have a 90-degree bend in the hip and in the shoulder joint in our tabletop position. This is also a great way to find a nice measurement for your downward facing dog in case you have any questions. So we'll go ahead and press hips back to the sky into our downward facing dog. And notice that we come into a nice measurement from hands to feet for our downward facing dog. Nice work. So we'll go ahead and get back down to the knees. We'll go ahead and roll onto our backs. And give ourselves a brief knee squeeze. We're going to go ahead and release the right leg, extending the right leg out in front of us. We're going to straighten the left leg out, reaching up above. We're just going to pull the calf or leg down to the chest. Try to keep our back flat on the floor. And then with each exhale, we're going to try to pull the leg a little bit closer to the chest. Nice work, everybody. And we'll go ahead and gently release the left leg, extending it out to meet the right. Pull the right knee in close to us for a single knee squeeze. Then we'll go ahead and reach the right leg toward the sky. We're just going to pull the right leg down to the chest. Nice deep hamstring stretch here. Trying to pull the leg a little bit closer with each exhale. Nice work, everybody. And great work. So for those of you out there who haven't been stretching because you don't know how to, now you have a great little stretch routine that'll be easy for you to remember. Great job.